Sponsored by CuriosityStream. Get thousands of documentaries and Nebula for free for 31 days. Link in the description. Earlier this month, the 2019 Apple Watch Series 5 debuted with its new always-on display, starting at $399 for the regular model and $499 for the cellular version. In my review, link in the description, I called it the world's best health and fitness tracker and motivator, connected communications and emergency contact band, and wearable computer platform. And now simply the best watch, period. At the same time though, the 2017 Apple Watch Series 3 was also reintroduced, and at the lowest entry-level price ever, $199 for the regular model and $299 for the cellular. Sure, it's a low enough price that some original and Series 1 Apple Watch owners might be tempted to upgrade when they otherwise just wouldn't. But it's also a low enough price point where I think a lot of people, the vast majority of people who still haven't even tried out an Apple Watch, might decide to take the plunge for the first time, especially during the holiday sales and gift-giving season. Shout out to Thrifter. So, question becomes, is it worth it? I'm Rene Ritchie, and this is the Apple Watch Series 3 in 2019. And should I even keep saying Vector? Apple Watch Series 3 was the last to bear the original design. By that, I mean the displays are slightly smaller, the bezels slightly bigger, the capsule of the casing not quite as flat-feeling or sleek-looking, but strap it on and light it up, and instantly it still looks pure sci-fi, even if it's a little retro sci-fi now compared to the latest models. It still comes in two sizes, which is great for people with both smaller and bigger wrists, and display needs. The smaller is 242 by 360 resolution at 30mm, and the larger 312 by 390 resolution at 42mm. The Series 3 displays are also OLED, which means deep, inky blacks that almost melt away into the big bezels, and rich, vibrant colors that pop right out of them. An RGB stripe, not pentile like phones, which makes them look even crisper and sharper. It's not the same as the Apple Watch Series 4 and 5, which hit 324 by 394 pixels at 40mm and 368 by 448 pixels at 44mm. Also, because the Series 3 display is square and not rounded and smaller, it seems a bit cramped now compared to the 5. And it is. For example, the Series 3 doesn't get all the new fancy watch faces of the Series 4 and 5. In some cases, that's no big loss. Several of them are just special effect faces, like fire and water, designed entirely to show off the bigger watch faces. In other cases, like with infographs, the loss is more meaningful. You don't get all the richer, super complications that provide higher information density, and that's something I've personally come to depend on as my daily dashboard while I'm at work, for example. You do get the same 1000 nits brightness on both Series 3 and Series 5, so display remains legible even under fairly aggressive sunlight. But you don't get the always-on display of the Series 5, which, instead of turning off when you're not interacting with it, simply abides in dimmer, lower power state, but in a way that you can still glance at it and see the time, even complications or workout data, without having to raise or tap to wake it. For me, that makes the watch functional as a watch, but others seem not to like it or want it, so it may not make any real difference to you. The physical casing for the Series 3 isn't just smaller than the Series 5 either. It's ever so slightly thicker, like less than a millimeter, but it does end up feeling not quite as flat on the wrist and a bit more capsule-like. Also, because Apple is only selling the aluminum version of the Series 3, it's only available with Ion-X or Ion Exchange glass. That's a fancy name for chemically hardened glass Apple uses to reduce the likelihood of scratches, scuffs, and breaks, including on all of the iPhones. If you want an even tougher sapphire crystal, you'll have to move up to the Apple Watch Series 5 and the higher-end materials like steel, titanium, or ceramic. Now, I have gotten a few scratches and scuffs on my glass Apple Watches over the years, but nothing that I can really see when the display is all lit up, or even really notice unless I hold them up to the light and look for them. The really cool thing is, though, the Apple Watch Series 3 is compatible with all Apple Watch bands going back to the original and up to the most recent ones released just this fall. Small to small, large to large, even though the case sizes have changed, the groove and lug sizes remain exactly the same. So if bands matter most to you, you have exactly the same options even with the Apple Watch Series 3. Apple Watch Series 3 has most of the same health and fitness features as the Series 5. That includes activity rings, so you can keep up with meeting or exceeding your stand, movement, and exercise goals every day. The coaching and encouragement mechanisms have gotten better and better over time, but the simple, satisfying nature of seeing those rings close towards the end of the day is the same. The Series 3 is also properly waterproof to 50 meters, so you can track all your swims as well as walks, runs, cycles, wheels, all of that. And it's got a biometric altimeter to measure elevation for your stairs, hikes, and climbs, and an optical heart rate sensor not only for accurate calorie count, but for low, high, and irregular heart rate notifications as well. It doesn't have the electrical heart rate sensor of the Series 5 though, so it can't even use the ECG app even when available. And it doesn't have the newer generation sensors needed for fall detection either, so you can't get those alerts. When Apple introduced those features last year, I immediately got the Series 4 for my immediate family. Fall detection itself was just that important to me. And earlier this year, when one of them fell down the stairs and it went off, it was immediately worth it. Also, while the Series 3 does have emergency SOS, so you can call for help if your iPhone isn't in reach, or even around if you have the cellular model, it doesn't have the new modem with international SOS calling, even if you don't have a local cell plan. So, if you want all of the potentially life-saving features Apple Watch has to offer, you're going to want the Series 5. But if what you're looking for is exercise, activity monitoring, coaching and encouragement, and workouts, the Series 3 offers pretty much everything that you'll need. Beyond the cool faces and features, the Apple Watch is a full-on wrist computer. It can run all the apps in the Apple Watch store, and it has some cutting-edge silicon inside. Yeah, silicon inside a watch. There's an S3 system in package, which is like a whole computer in a chip. It's dual-core and 70% faster than the previous generation S2. It also enables voice-activated Siri. The S5 system in package in the Apple Watch Series 5 is even more capable, of course, fully 64-bit and 50% faster again than the S3. It also has a built-in compass, which makes things like walking directions and maps just that much better, and a new W3 chip that improves on the W2 chip in the Series 3, making wireless work even faster and more efficiently. They both have the same Wi-Fi capabilities though, up to 802.11n at 2.4 GHz, but while the Series 5 has Bluetooth 5, the Series 3 tops out at Bluetooth 4.2. So the Series 3 doesn't quite have the same range, speed, and efficiency over Bluetooth, but practically, day to day, you may not notice much difference. The Series 3 also has 16 gigabytes of storage to the 32 gigabytes now in the Series 5. So if you want to keep a lot of music, podcasts, or audiobooks locally on your wrist, that's something to consider as well. Still, both are rated for the same 18 hours of battery life. Apple Watch Series 3 can also run the brand new watchOS 6, of course, and its new calculator, audiobook, activity trends, and cycle tracking, and more. I'm going to do a separate video on that, but it includes the new on-device app store so you can download right onto the Series 3, no iPhone needed. And given that Apple is currently supporting watchOS 6 all the way back to the 2016 Apple Watch Series 1 and Series 2, there's a good chance they'll keep on supporting Apple Watch Series 3 until at least watchOS 8, if not 9 or more. The Apple Watch Series 5 is legit amazing, but it starts at $399 for Wi-Fi and GPS and $499 for cellular. That's why, at the last Apple event, when they announced the Series 3 was dropping to $199 for Wi-Fi plus GPS and $299 for cellular, I was almost more excited. It was the same excitement I felt when Apple announced the 9.7-inch iPad, now 10.2-inch iPad, for $329. Prices go up, it's what they do, and the price of the very top end of Apple product lines has been rising as steadily as their feature sets. Average selling prices have largely stayed the same, even if they peak and valley from year to year. But the big stickers are the ones that stick out and get all of the attention. So, when you see a new entry level, especially when it has a price like the Apple Watch Series 3, it has an equal and opposite effect. It makes the technology feel affordable and attainable to everyone. Tech media obsesses about upgrades, especially year-over-year upgrades that increasingly just aren't the norm. People who do that tend to pre-order. They're already taken care of. But like I said at the beginning, the vast majority of people don't even have an Apple Watch yet. Any Apple Watch, and Series 3 starting at $199 might just be the thing that changes that. And in that case, I'd say pretty much exactly the same thing. At $199, the Series 3 is a hell of a deal and could potentially get even better as we roll into the holiday shopping season, depending on how competitive the big retailers really get. So much so that even tech enthusiasts who already ordered their own Series 5 might just start looking at Series 3 for the rest of their family. And sure, If for you or yours, the Series 3 is what gets your attention, but you ultimately decide the bigger, always-on display, and especially those potentially life-saving features like fall detection, ECG, and international SOS are worth the extra cost, that's totally cool. Otherwise, even in 2019, Apple Watch Series 3 is still one of the best health and fitness trackers and motivators, connected communications and emergency contact bands, and wearable computer platforms in the world. And starting at $199, I expect it to fly off the shelves and into a lot of new lives as we head into this new year. Now, one quick note. Some of you have asked how you can watch my videos, but not on YouTube. I do put the audio versions up as podcasts, but for a variety of reasons, from hosting costs to lack of popularity, video podcasts just aren't an option, or even really a thing anymore. Which is why I helped build Nebula, and why you can now get it as part of CuriosityStream. Nebula is a streaming video platform built by and for independent creators like CGP Grey, Lindsay Ellis, Polymatter, Thomas Frank, Half as Interesting, Real Engineering, and yours truly. Where CuriosityStream is all about big budget nonfiction videos, we're building Nebula because we want it to be a place for educationally creators to try out new content ideas that might not work on YouTube, or for people who simply don't want to watch on YouTube. And you'll also get access to those thousands of documentaries and series, like The Secret Lives of Big Cats, which tells the story of Siberian tigers, the largest of all cats. Just go to curiositystream.com/vector to watch, and for unlimited access to the world's top documentaries and nonfiction series, and now Nebula as well. And enter the promo code VECTOR to start your membership completely free for 31 days. Thanks CuriosityStream, and thanks to all of you for supporting the show. Okay, so Apple Watch Series 3 in 2019. You've heard what I think. Now I want to hear from you. Hit like if you do, subscribe if you haven't already, digital crown that bell gizmo so you don't miss what's coming up next, and then hit up the comments and let me know. Is Series 3 for $199 the thing that takes Watch to the next level? Or not so much? Thanks for watching, and see you next video.